Africa, and welcome back to a special segment of AAU Talks. We are broadcasting live from the office of the Vice Chancellor of University of Lagos. We have here Professor Oluwatoyin T. Ogundipe to discuss the topic, the contribution of University of Lagos in the space of higher education in Nigeria. My name is Irene Dufie Addai, and I'll be your host for today. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll start with our discussion. Stay tuned.
For Nigeria, newly independent and the world's most populous black nation, a new dawn broke in 1962 when the University of Lagos was established. And 56 years on, higher education has never remained the same.
Welcome. Good morning, Prof, and thank you for having us here.
Good morning.
Can you shortly give us a brief history of University of Lagos in 1 minute? Say to us.
Well, I want to say that University of Lagos was founded in 1962, October 1962, started from the College of Medicine before migrating to the main campus here in Akoka. And presently we have 3 campuses. We have Akoka campus, we have the College of Medicine located at Idiaraba, some kilometers away from here. And we also have the School of Radiography at Yaba. We have 12 faculties, including the School of Postgraduate Studies. We are multidisciplinary in programs. That is, we run programs in medicine, in science, in engineering, in humanities, law. And our student population is over 59,000. We had our 58th convocation ceremonies about a month ago. And we have alumni in different areas, in the banking industry, in politics, in academics, in the armed forces, in the Navy, all over the world too. In the US, we have some of our alumni who are doing well in the university, in the business world. So this is University of Lagos for you. And we pride ourselves as the university of first choice and the nation's pride.
Okay, Prof. So when we talk about University of Lagos, what is the special niche about it when we talk about University of Lagos? Some of them, when you talk about them, you know this is a business school. What is the unique thing about University of Lagos?
The unique thing about University of Lagos is that it's a university where we cut our niche in medicine, in engineering, in law, and in sciences. We have also we have cut our niche also in education. But when you talk about law in Nigeria, we talk about University of Lagos. Just last year, out of the number of students that got first class in the Nigerian law school, we got the highest number of students. And if you talk of engineering, we have people from our Faculty of Engineering that have won the National Merit Award. So we are known as a university that is in the business world, like Olumelu, who is in the banking industry, an alumnus of the University of Lagos, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, an alumnus of the University of Lagos, the governor of Lagos State, the incoming and the outgoing governor of Lagos State, they are alumni of the University of Lagos.
Yeah.
So we are known as a university that is a university that has a brand that can be allowed to use that. We are Unilag is a brand, and we continue to improve upon that brand.
Yeah, and even going through the work part, I saw that the current vice president too is also an alumni of this university. Yeah, that means you are churning out great people from this university. So we want to talk about collaborations. As we know, collaborations is the way forward now in this globalized system. Who are the strategic partners of this university?
Well, let me start from southwest. In the US, we have a partnership with at least 10 universities in the US. We have partnership with Harvard, we have with MIT. In fact, one of our lecturers she's just rounding up the program in MIT, and one is going in another three weeks' time. Also, in the U.S., we have partnership with Michigan State University, Central Michigan University, and some other universities in the U.S. In UK, we have a partnership with some universities in UK too. In China, we have partnership with Suzhou University, and we teach Chinese language in the University of Lagos. We also run the Confucius Institute program in collaboration with BIT in China. And the collaboration we have with Suzhou University is such that some of our students who have gone through our foundation program can go to Suzhou University to do medicine, and also we teach Chinese studies with Suzhou University. It is such that the student will spend 1 year in the University of Lagos, go to Suzhou University in China for 2 years, and come back to the University of Lagos for 1 year. In Canada, we have collaboration with Carleton University and Saskatchewan University. We have a strong relationship with them. In fact, the relationship we have with Carleton University resulted in what we call the Nigeria-Canada Business Summit that was held last year in Abuja. And we want to come up with some SMEs that we go to Canada for exposure in the business world. We have collaboration. Now let's talk about South-South.
Yeah.
That is in Africa.
Very important.
Yeah, we have strong relationship with University of Johannesburg. We are with Stellenbosch.
Okay.
In fact, the relationship we have with Stellenbosch is very strong, very, very strong. It is such that our PhD students go to Stellenbosch for training, and this year we want to bring Stellenbosch. They initiated the move that they want to come to Nigeria so that we can have this program together where some other students from Africa can come to University of Lagos for a program. And I'm sure that will lead to another relationship concerning the MOU we have with Stellenbosch University. And also in the area of research collaboration, we have what we call the African Research University Alliance in some universities in Africa, and we are one of the first universities to come into that alliance. And even through that alliance, we have 2 research centers. University of Lagos is the only university in Nigeria that have the 2 research centers out of about 8 or 9 that was given. University of Lagos, we have 2 in the area of entrepreneurship and urbanization. So we have relationship with other universities, some other universities in Africa, but we want to improve on that relationship with other universities in Africa. Even within Nigeria, we are looking at the possibility of having a relationship with some of the universities, which we have started doing something about that. We have a relationship with some universities in Nigeria. Apart from that, there are universities that we are mentoring in Nigeria, like the St. Augustine University and Ekpe. We have the Trinity University that just started some months back. We have some other universities, St. Christopher University. These are universities that we are mentoring based on the recommendation from the National University Commission.
Okay. I was even about asking collaborations within Nigeria, but since that has been answered, we saw that University of Lagos is in the middle of a city. What are some of the corporate social responsibilities this university is having?
Yeah, well, you know, it's a metropolitan university that we are exposed to so many activities going on around. Last year, what we did was to bring in some students in the primary school between the age of 13 and 16. About 50 of them, brought them into the class for about, I think about 8 weeks. 8 weeks where they were taught on apps development and Androids too. And this year, what we want to do is to increase the number to look into the community surrounding us, only for female students between the age of 13 and 14. And presently, we have an organization that is interested in sponsoring that program. So this is what we do concerning our contribution to the community.
Okay, that's very good. We want to talk about human capital development, and as an institution, I'm sure there are policies for staff development. What are some of these policies and the major outcomes? Have there been improvements since you started those policies?
Yeah, in terms of manpower development for the academic and non-teaching staff. For the academic staff, last year we have about 300 of our colleagues that travel out of the country for conference, postdoctoral program, and even short study leave abroad. We are improving on that, and I'm sure that this year it will get better. Also, we have research centers. We have about 12 research centers now, based on the interest that our colleagues are showing in the area of research. Because I always say one thing, university is about research. So we are to help the country to solve the problems of the country. And the research we are doing now is demand-driven research based on what the problem that we have in the country. So in the area of manpower development, we support that we get from TED Fund. We are able to expose some of our colleagues to training outside the country, within the country. Even the non-teaching staff, we expose them to training by attending conference within the country and some of them outside the country too.
Yeah, and mostly we want to even talk about students, since there are policies for teachers. Normally the industry will say students are half-baked, they are not well prepared for the industry. And so when, I think during your time and then our fathers of old, they had this compulsory teaching practice. And in our system, what we have is internships. Does this institution run that program that students should have compulsory internship to help them for their studies?
We have the compulsory internship in Nigeria, in Nigerian University too. In the University of Lagos, most of our programs in the Faculty of Engineering, Environmental Sciences, Education, they have their teaching practice, which is compulsory. They choose a secondary school or any school outside where they go and do their teaching practice, and they are properly supervised. For some other programs, even in science, we have programs that have their attachment for 3 months, for 6 months outside the university.
Okay, so it's somehow compulsory, for you to do that. African Union, they brought the Continental Education Strategy for Africa and mostly focuses on the STEM education. Do you think STEM is the way forward?
Well, STEM is the way forward now in Africa, because when we talk about science, technology, engineering, mathematics, that is the language. So there is need for the universities to lay emphasis on it, and there is need for the country to lay emphasis on it. That is the key to move the country forward now. Because if you look at it very well, most of the problems that we are facing can be solved internally if we really train the students in the proper way
Yeah.
and expose them. We need to train them, we need to expose them, and we need to let them have one-on-one encounter. That is what we need to move the continent forward.
Okay, so are there plans that even when you are in the social sciences field, which is not normally STEM typical, are there plans to help students also maybe have an idea of how the system works? Because as you said, STEM is the way forward.
Yeah.
And so are we inculcating that in other of the
Innovation
courses?
thing.
Yes, in the other courses.
Innovation, we are laying emphasis on innovation now because we know our students are full of ideas. We are migrating that ideas into innovation and incubation, and then from there to entrepreneurship. And our students have been doing well in that area now. A lot of our students are coming up with ideas. Some of our students, about 3 of them just came up with the idea of trafficking, human trafficking, and apps for human trafficking. And we also have another one that came up with apps on alert. If you are being harassed or you are in danger, you just press the apps on your computer or your phone.
Okay.
And once you press it at the security unit, they get the alarm. They know where the activity is taking place, and they will be able to do something about that. So our students are developing ideas, and I'm sure that very soon we'll be able to harvest more of those ideas. And what we are also doing is to register companies for our students.
Okay.
That have been able to come with ideas that are of commercial value. We register a company for them, get startup grant for them, and get a mentor for them that will mentor them, so that we don't just register the company for them and leave them. The mentor will be with them, train them, expose them, encourage them. And I'm sure that in the next 2 years, we'll see more of our students excelling in this area.
Okay. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion with the Vice Chancellor of University of Lagos. Do stay tuned.
In its effort towards converting knowledge to profit, the University of Lagos established the Entrepreneurship and Skills Development Center, which has, since its emergence, successfully partnered with world-class corporations such as Coca-Cola, LG, General Electric, and Lufthansa, among others.
We're training our students to become creators of jobs. We need partnership with multinationals, we need partnership with meaningful Nigerians, and partnership with federal government to begin to develop these students inside the campus so that they can create their jobs.
If national development and community service are crucial goals to be achieved by universities all over the world, then postgraduate education cannot be taken lightly. For it is at this stage that we see the results of the foundation laid at the nursery, primary, secondary, and undergraduate levels.
If you just tune in, this is AAU Talks with the Vice Chancellor of University of Lagos, and we are discussing the topic, the contribution of the university to the higher education space in Nigeria. Prof, before we went on the break, you were talking about how you are helping your students register their programs, and I think we were at the Entrepreneur Center and we saw the beautiful things that are being done over there. So we want to talk about the massification of enrollment. We know Nigeria has a larger population in Africa, and so we want to know, and then they are very youthful, and so we want to know how the university is contributing its quota to churn out quality students, not just any student, but quality students for Nigeria's development.
We have the Quality Assurance Department that they are always looking into the issue of the quality of the teaching, the quality of our program. We also have the regulatory body, NUC, always coming in to look at the quality of the program that we are running. The other side of it is exposing them to the industry, and that is where the industrial attachment comes in.
Yeah.
So as per the quality of the teaching, the quality of the product that we are producing, we have maintained our quality, and that is why we are saying that we want our students to be relevant locally and to compete globally.
Yeah.
2 of our students just got support from the Bank of America, and they will be going to the US for 6 months, 6 weeks.
Okay.
6 weeks for a program in the US from June 14 or thereabout. So you can see that 2, the only 2 from Nigeria, that shows you the quality of education we are giving our students. Last year, our students went for competition, geophysics student went for competition in the US and they came 3rd. Our students last week came 1st at the mathematical competition in Abuja. So we are giving our students the quality education that is being required, and we are exposing them to be able to compete globally and to be relevant locally. But I know we still need to do more.
Exactly.
We need to do more because we find out that things are getting better and better.
Yeah.
So we need to also move with the tide rather than thinking that, oh, we are the best, let's just stay with that. We need, I always say one thing, you don't compare yourself with yourself. You compare yourself with the best. So we are improving on the quality of what we are producing.
Yeah. So with this being said, does the university have the required resource and facilities to help with the number of students that are looking for education in Nigeria?
Well, we don't have the required, our carrying capacity cannot actually absorb the number of students applying to the University of Lagos. So we have to abide by the carrying capacity.
Okay, so we are finishing up. We are finishing up right now, wrapping up. But we want to talk about the university governance. How involved are your external stakeholders in funding options of the university?
The funding.
Yes.
Well, the funding is from the government and from what we generate internally. We are able to at least keep the university going, but it can be better. The stakeholders too are investing in the university. Zenith Bank is giving us a new building, and then we have some other people who have been showing interest to invest into the university. But we need more. We need more. You know, in this part of the world, it's not part of our culture to say you are endowing your property, giving your property to the university, you are giving your stock to the university. No. But I'm sure it will get better.
Yeah, and let's talk about research. I know you are very particular about research and the importance of research to Africa's development. But looking at research, what Africans really put out is just meager when we want to talk about research. And mostly when we are doing our dissertations and our thesis, normally what we see are names of people who are foreigners, and we don't really see our people writing for us to even quote them in our works. So is it that we are only interested in just the teaching, or we are interested in research?
Well, that's a very sensitive question.
Yeah.
But I want to say that in Africa, generally, maybe apart from maybe South Africa and Morocco or Egypt, most of the African countries don't invest much into research. And I always say one thing: show me any country that is doing well in the world, and I'll point to a university, a country. I'll point to a country that has invested into research.
Yeah.
So if you look at it very well, I am interested in research. I am involved in research. Research is part of my life. But you find out that apart from the TED Fund in Nigeria that support research, most of our colleagues, they get their support from outside the country.
Okay.
That's why you see that they have names of foreigners when they want to publish, because they do the major research outside this country. So there's need for us to invest into research in this continent. If we invest into research, we'll get the best out of it. Like what the World Bank is doing now, saying African Center of Excellence in this, African Center of Excellence in that. There is need for our countries to invest more into research, demand-driven research, challenge the universities. You have the best brains in the universities. Challenge them, tell them this is what we want you to do. We want you to solve this problem for us. We want you to do this for us. And I want to assure you that the university will come up with a lot of solutions that will move the country forward.
Yeah, I was so impressed the other day when we went to the exhibition by the botany faculty. And we saw so many things when the chairman was talking about something that it would be able to help sickle cell. And we know sickle cell is something that has been worrying the youth. And so what is the problem? Is it a problem of we not having the resource to do it? Because the brains are there. What is preventing us from really pushing our...
I would say it's acceptability.
Okay.
It's just acceptability. That is what I would say, just acceptability. People have been doing research in different areas, sickle cell, anemia, and all those things, but the acceptability. In China, it is accepted. But in this part of the world, it is not accepted. So it is acceptability.
Yeah. So talking about research now, we have a lot of open access journals where we can put in our research, post our research. Would this thing cause a problem of intellectual property as it goes on when now you can put your publications everywhere? Should intellectual property be a headache for us right now?
Yeah, intellectual property is very important. And in the intellectual world, you must put that into consideration to avoid things like plagiarism and all those stuff. So it is very important for us to talk about that. And definitely when you want to publish, it's better for you to have patented what you want to patent before you fully publish your papers, so that the ideas will not be stolen by another team. So what you do is that before you come out with any idea by publishing, it's better for you to patent it. Once you patent, then you can publish your research work in that area.
Okay, so Prof, we are going, and finally, your advice to policymakers, universities, and stakeholders in bringing out quality students to the world.
Well, I would just say that there is need for us to invest into education. The government should invest into education, either at the primary level, to secondary level, to tertiary level, and the government should take it as a priority. Priority. For the stakeholders, like friends of the universities and other people, there is need for them also to invest into the university. And for our colleagues, I want to say there is need for them to make sure that they put in their efforts so that our university in Africa can rank among the best universities in the world. We have everything that is needed. Let us put in the effort, and I want to assure you that we'll be able to get the best out of the resources that we have.
Thank you, Prof, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
And for discussing these issues with us, because you know we have very limited time. This is AAU Talk, and if you just joined us, we have ended our section. You can still watch it on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, Association of African Universities. Thank you for staying tuned.